What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the NPCs in Fortnite Chapter 6 and which ones I think are worth interacting with or worth hiring. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below which NPC is your favorite in Chapter 6. I'm not going to be going over all of the NPCs on the map, just the ones that I think are important. And typically, the most important ones are going to be the hired NPCs. The scanner NPC, which is typically the best, is going to be Vi, and she is in the Rainbow Field north of Hopeful Heights. And this, if you guys are familiar with past scanner NPCs, she just scans the area periodically and marks any enemies nearby. She does also mark loot, which can be helpful at sometimes, but it's not the biggest deal to me. I feel like most people really care for her for finding opposing players, and this is obviously helpful at any point in the game. You might find some people that would potentially catch you off guard, but I feel like with how Chapter 6 plays, this is even more beneficial than how it typically was because of how fast these ARs kill. Just getting caught off guard is often going to be, a pretty big problem to deal with this season. And with how teleporty the movement is with the Void Mask and the Katana, people can get around very quick and reposition a lot during a fight. So if you do have someone scanned and then they teleport away, you'll know exactly where they went, even if you didn't see where their void ball went, or if they were, being slippery with the katana. Same thing. If somebody has the invisibility medallion, which spawns on the boss island in 4th zone, that scan can make it a little bit easier for you to deal with them. So I feel like while the scanner NPC is always good, this season it's even, a bigger benefit to have just because of how lethal the ARs are and the way the movement plays out. The Vi NPC also does sell shockwaves, which can be pretty helpful as well before you hire her. And the healer NPC is going to be Halsey. She is at Canyon Crossing, and she'll just periodically splash you with 2 chug splash, healing you. If you need health, she'll splash you. And I think even if you're full health, sometimes she'll splash you, which is kind of annoying. But this again can be a huge benefit to have in a fight with how teleporty the movement is. You could just quickly teleport away. The NPC will teleport to you and then hopefully heal you and get you that little extra health you need to potentially win a fight. These weapons are really lethal, so your odds of taking damage in a fight, I feel like, is just higher this season. And having this Halsey NPC heal you, again, it's one of those things where it's just always beneficial, but like a few aspects of Chapter 6, I feel like just make it feel a little bit better. Also at Canyon Crossing, the Ninja NPC is there, and he sells shockwaves in a blue twin fire auto shotgun. So if you enjoy the twin fire auto shotgun, that's something you might want to make note of. And if you're landing at that POI and don't get mobility, that NPC selling shockwaves, it's definitely better to have those and no mobility at all. Speaking of shockwaves, the supply specialist NPC is Mizuki, and she is at Lost Lake, and she'll periodically give you ammo based on whatever you're holding out. So if you're holding an assault rifle, when it's time for her to resupply you, she'll give you medium ammo. If you're holding shockwaves, she'll give you shockwaves. If you're holding porta bunkers, she'll give you porta bunkers. And I feel like that is huge. Always, like, the supply specialist NPCs have been good, but if you are someone who really likes using shockwaves or really likes using porta bunkers, I've seen a decent amount of comments from people saying they really like carrying bunkers this season because of how lethal the ARs are, and I feel like that's pretty valid. So if you are one of those people and you like landing at or around Lost Lake, the Mizuki NPC might be worth hiring for you. And she does also sell a blue Sentinel pump and a blue Hollow Twister AR, both of which are kind of, fine weapons. If you like using the pump and you like using the Hollow Twister AR, you're kind of in that area and don't already have blue ones. Blue is definitely a solid rarity. Blue is kind of the point where I'm happy. If I have a white or a green weapon, it's like, If it's blue or better, I'm pretty happy. So her selling blue weapons that I enjoy is just like kind of a decent baseline as well. The heavy specialist or grenade NPC is going to be Cinder, and she is south of Demon's Dojo. And she also does sell a blue twin fire auto shotgun in addition to being an NPC that you can hire that periodically throws grenades. I've never really been the biggest fans of the heavy specialist NPCs. Of all the hired NPCs, they've always been my least favorite. But some people like having them. They might be a decent distraction. There's like the off chance they maybe grenade somebody out of cover or like destroy somebody's bush, and then that makes it much easier for you to eliminate them. But I feel like of all of the specialist NPCs in Fortnite, the heavy specialists have always just been kind of whatever to me. I've never really been the biggest fan of them. But if you do like having the grenade NPC, the Cinder NPC is south of Demon's Dojo at kind of like volcano-ish area. if I had to rank the specialist NPCs, I think the way I would rank them would be the scanner NPC or Vi is the best. Then probably Mizuki. I like having infinite shockwaves, but also this season I've kind of just been using the Void Mask and Katana. So her value isn't as insane, but it's still nice to have at times. And then the healer and then the heavy specialist would be my least favorite, kind of like how I was already saying. And one thing that I feel like is worth talking about with this season is I feel like the NPCs are much easier to eliminate. I don't know if they actually have less health. It's not like they were hard before, but they felt decently tanky at times in like chapter 4 and 5. But I feel like so far in chapter 6, anytime anyone has had a hired NPC, I'm easily able to just melt down their NPC very quickly. And like I said, I don't know if it's because they actually have less health or if just because these ARs are so insane that it like feels like it's just so much easier to eliminate them. But either way, if I'm in a fight with somebody who has a hired NPC, I typically do just ignore them and just focus the player. I feel like the NPCs really aren't that threatening. But if I'm in a situation where I'm not able to shoot the player, you can just delete the NPC rather quick this season, and that might be something that is something you want to do. I don't know. I still think it's more important to focus on the enemy player in the fight and not their NPC. And another reason why it might be beneficial for you to leave the enemy player's NPC alive is it can kind of help you find the enemy player. With the Void Mask teleports, at times it can be difficult to track where people go. They're just teleporting around. If you didn't see where their Void Ball went and then they're just out of there, it can be rough at times. But the person's NPC typically will run to them and follow them. So if somebody has a hired NPC and they're trying to run from you, you can just kind of follow where their NPC is or look at the direction their NPC is going and then maybe be able to predict where the enemy went or at least have a good general idea of where the enemy went. So that's another reason why I don't really stress eliminating people's NPCs that much. It's almost like a downside to have a hired NPC at times, I think. Or that's like one of the downsides that I feel like people don't talk about as much. Some other NPCs I do want to talk about is going to be in Nightshade Forest. The Bushranger NPC sells a Hollow Twister AR, but they can also give you the Vault keycard for this POI if you trade him a Sprite. So if you're in this area, that vault at Nightshade Forest has a good amount of loot, and I definitely think it is worth going for. And finding a Sprite typically isn't too difficult, so this is probably one of the better landing spots in the game right now as far as loot is concerned. I feel like it's kind of overrated, and a lot of people are, talking about it and gassing it up. But I feel like if I'm making a video about the hired NPCs, I should definitely talk about the Bushranger NPC as well, giving you a vault keycard and giving you a lot of loot to start the game with. And then also at Nightshade Forest, the Kendo NPC is kind of on the edge of the forest, and he sells a blue Oni shotgun. I'm not the biggest fan of the Oni shotgun, but if you like using that, this, might be a spot that you enjoy more, being able to get, like I said, at least a decent rarity. It seems like the NPCs this season don't really sell that high rarity of weapons unless you do challenges for them, but not all of them have challenges. I believe the Hope and Jonesy NPCs, both at Hopeful Heights, have challenges that you can do to unlock higher rarity weapons from them. But Hope sells a Fury assault rifle, and then Jones sells a Surgefire SMG, and I don't really use either of those weapons. But as far as like the Hollow Twisted AR or any of the shotguns, none of the NPCs currently are selling like high rarity purple or gold versions of these. It's just blue for all of them, which I think is fair, but it means there's just kind of less really useful NPCs on the map. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this to be helpful, informative, interesting. As always, if you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, comment down below which NPC is your favorite in Chapter 6, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.